Okay, I'll just wait a second, make sure it's up. Actually, check the site, I guess.
I'd imagine it's up by now.
Yeah, it probably is, but sometimes I don't know why my computer that's so weird. Yeah, see, like Skyrim got 11 views.
Oh, wow.
Our multiplayer fun got 17 views. So we're getting some on this.
Excellent.
Okay, everyone, hello. This is Rosariel and Magnus again. We are doing a wizard overview since we hadn't done one yet. We're going to go with the max level wizard so we can show you all the abilities tonight. As we've said, the wizard is pretty overpowered, and this one already has some decent gear for what you can get in the beta, I guess. So nothing's going to really give us a problem killing it wise, but we're still going to go ahead and do it. We're just going to do the last quest since we don't want to go through like all the acts and stuff when we already have everything. So in the beginning, when the wizard starts, they seem pretty balanced when they don't have any gear on. It takes like 3 spells or something to hurt them, and they use arcane power, which regenerates pretty quickly. So we're just going to start with. I'm going to go through, or actually, I'm in a public game. Hold on, I'm going to leave the game. I forgot. I need a public. I don't want to make a public game. Okay. There, now I'll start the game again, and then that should put us in New Tristram. So I can use the Nephilim Stone to show you the spells. Okay. So at level 1 you get Magic Missile. We'll also grab the Shock Pulse, one of the other. They have this offensive Wave of Force, I'll grab that. And then they have utility spells. First one you get like is Frost Nova. Okay, so Magic Missile is pretty straightforward. It just has like an orb that comes out and it'll hit the target, and it does some decent damage. And then there's Shock Pulse, which is like Charged Bolt from 2, where you have a whole bunch of different energy things coming out, but these ones are more lines than little orbs like they were before. And then Wave of Force makes you jump up and knock everything back and do some damage. And Frost Nova, pretty self-explanatory. Those are okay abilities. Magic Missile is okay. Shock Pulse is pretty strong, but later on you get Electrocute, which makes Shock Pulse, honestly, I believe, kind of pointless.
Yeah, I agree.
They also have Spectral Blade. I'll grab Electrocute, and then I will grab Arcane Orb and Twister. Okay, Spectral Blade was like the, you want to make a close-range melee wizard, you could use that, because it, cuts in the air in front of you. It's an okay spell, but it's, again, with all the range spells that the wizard has that already make it so strong, it's really not necessary. It's more like, oh, well, do you want to be a close-range caster? I guess you could do it. And then
I didn't use it once.
Yeah, I used it just when we first got it, and that was it. And then there's Electrocute, which arcs based off of where you click. It does have a, I believe it does have a maximum range. Actually, I don't think it does. By the look of it, as far as your string can go, you can cast it. Which this, it spans between all the different enemies at that very last point where my mouse cursor is, and that's why we think Shock Pulse is pointless. Also, we have what we call the Black Hole, but it's Arcane Orb. This one is really overpowered. When you hit someone with that, it does damage in an AoE about equivalent to the size of that orb, and it does a lot of damage. You can kill things really quickly. And it's pretty spammable, too. You can hit, like, probably, 3 or maybe even 4 later on of those before it becomes an issue, but you only need 1 per, group of enemies. And then there's also Twister, which I haven't used on enemies, but again, it's still pretty strong too.
Twister's a lot of fun. It's a little random, and you can't always hit the things you want to hit, but the actual effects in the game are really cool. Especially, you should probably bring that into the actual dungeon to show them, because bodies will actually get dragged by the Twister on its path, and that's just really cool.
Cool. Okay, so I'm going to grab Disintegrate, which again is a really strong one. And then we have like Magic Weapon. I'm not going to grab these because they're not... these are mostly just like armors and stuff, which this one increases armor by 50% and causes cold damage to melee attackers, which chills them. Magic Weapon, it adds magical energy to your physical damage, so that would be a pretty good thing to use if you're going to use like with Spectral Blade. Then they have Diamond Skin, which just absorbs a certain amount of damage, and Storm Armor, which electrocutes people around you for a certain amount of range and lasts around in 20 seconds. They got more stuff, but up until 13, you don't get any of the other abilities and stuff. We do not get Teleport because that doesn't hit until 18, so they do not have a movement speed increaser like a lot of the other classes until much later on. But since the wizard is so powerful, they honestly don't need it. Okay, so I had Disintegrate, which will show you when we get in there, and I will show you Twister so you can see what Magnus is talking about. Due to Twister's randomness, I would have to say that Arcane Orb is stronger, just because it's a lot easier to control, but Twister can definitely be more entertaining.
Absolutely. And Disintegrate is just ridiculous.
Yeah, not to mention we also don't know the scaling of any of these things, you know, based off of the kind of gear that you can get and the kind of stats that you can get on the gear. Some of these abilities that seem a lot weaker now may be really, really strong in the late game. But since we don't have the late game till release, we won't know that. So currently in the beta, this is some of the stronger ones. So Arcane Orb does a whole bunch of damage, almost kills everything in like one hit. And then this is the Twister, we'll show you what that does. Kind of like throws, or no, it's not going to do anything because these ones are winged creatures. Hold on, let's find some skeletons. It's supposed to like pick them up and throw them around and stuff. Has some pretty good you know, graphics engine stuff, so we'll just get rid of these guys. I can never find skeletons instead of just bats. Oh, here we go. Let's go something. See how it kind of, it's like throwing him around, he's stuck to the ground and stuff, and it kind of travels around for a little while, so it's pretty cool. But like we said, due to the randomization of it, it generally does go towards the vicinity of enemies, but it's random targeting and you can't really choose who you want to have target it. So that one is a pretty good one. You also have Wand that you can cast. That I believe that Magic Weapon will affect that. Magical energy granting 15% increased physical damage. I'm not sure if that also, see, your physical damage deals with how powerful your spells are also, and the attack speed does too, I believe. So we're not sure if Magic Weapon Imbue actually increases your regular spell damage. That's something I don't even know if we can check that.
I'd imagine not. I would like to think that they don't
need more arcane power.
Okay, it's gone now. So right now, our base attack damage is 83.03 per second. And all damage increased. Attack attribute increases damage of all attacks and skills by 83%.
Wow.
So, yeah, it may affect it. Okay,
yeah.
Now we're going to put it on and then open it up and check it out. Now our damage per second for our basic attack is 95.47. This amount includes damage bonus from... This does not take into account damage from your skills and runes. Okay, so yeah, I don't think that... Well, see, like, this is dealing 255% weapon damage. So yeah, I believe that does actually affect your spell damage. See, it's hard to tell, since it says a percentage of damage, you can't actually, like, see what damage each spell does.
Well, if it does, because, yeah, it very well may stack. If it does, that's a really powerful synergy that a lot of players are going to choose.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to show you Disintegrate, which is the most broken spell in the game. It is instant cast. It has a a specified limit to it. It doesn't go any shorter or bigger unless there's something in the way of its path. But all you need to do is literally click and wave around. It does retarded amounts of damage, and you can hold it for a very long time before you ever need to let it go. And you can literally just whirl around and kill stuff so quickly. This is why we're saying that the wizard is so overpowered, because their spells do so much damage in such a short amount of time. Compared to the other characters, you can just kill everything before they even get close to the monster. Even if like a barbarian's using leap, or a demon hunter is, you know, trying to run in and use their vault to actually get closer to the enemy or anything, which doesn't make much sense because that's not how the game, or that's not really what the skill was designed for, but they could still do it that way, I guess. But yeah, it's really powerful. I think like I'm getting a little lag here now. Ping's going up a little bit, so things aren't dying as quickly as they normally would, but that's just the computer being silly.
I definitely like the disintegrating graphics, though. That's really cool.
Yeah, like I like the beam, and it feels really good to use the spell. I'm not saying that I don't enjoy using Disintegrate. If anything, it's probably my favorite spell. But I just think it's a little broken.
Oh, absolutely. The wizard has so much AoE going on. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and these are just the spells that you get up till 13. So at 13, you're already really strong. So we're not even sure what other spells you're going to get later on that are going to make you even more broken. But right now, it's really strong.
Maintain your incantation. He will soon turn.
And yeah, that's mostly the wizard. They have like your increased attack speed will increase your cast rate. I don't know if this increases DPS for channeled spells like Disintegrate, but we can check it out. This is on beam pure energy, dealing 193 weapon damage per second as arcane. So yeah, the faster the weapon for Disintegrate, the more damage per second you'll get, unless the slower weapon has damage that's like significantly higher. But if you have two weapons that are of equal damage value, but one is a little bit faster than the other, go with the faster one, because that'll increase Disintegrate's DPS. Since cast speed doesn't matter, since it's just, you know, a flat bar that never goes away. Okay. I'll just
see if Tornado will pick up some of those ashes. I don't even know if there's any bodies left when you do Disintegrate.
No, I just get rid of all of them. I can stop using Disintegrate and just...
Yeah, play around with Tornado a little bit. I love watching those bodies get dragged around.
He loves watching bodies get dragged around. Okay. Now, since we don't have the ability to test teleport, we won't know if the wizard, much like the sorcerer or sorceress in Diablo 2, is the strongest out of all of the characters to do magic finding. But since they do have magic find on the gear, I believe it's very viable, especially with how... Where am I? I'm missing something. I don't know. With how teleport should work, you should be. I think it's going to be very much like the Barb Leap, where you can teleport over gaps and stuff. And
I agree. I also think it's going to be put on a cooldown this time, where in Diablo 2 you were able to spam it. I don't believe that'll be the case for D3.
I think it's going to be on a smaller cooldown than. Actually, we can go to town and find out. But I believe it's probably going to be on a smaller cooldown than Leap, though. Because the whole point of a Barb leaping is leaping into combat to start stuff. You know, teleport is more about wanting to get away, so maybe That'll be on a slightly lower cooldown. Cooldown 16 seconds.
That's pretty equivalent to the Barb's Leap.
Yeah, teleport through the ether to the selected location up to 35 yards away. It only costs 15 arcane power, so if there was no cooldown on it, you could easily spam that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now let's see if there's
But
anything.
I think they don't want to do that.
There might be something that lets you lower the cooldown in your passives, though.
That may be true.
Whenever you are healed, health globe. Whenever you deal arcane damage, enemies are slowed. Your critical hits reduce cooldown in your spells. Oh, that could work. Like, if you have a high crit wizard and you use critical mass, you could reduce the cooldown every time you crit.
There also may be a rune that affects cooldowns or the ability of teleport.
Yeah. Every time you cast a signature spell, you gain 5 arcane power, which you'll never need.
That means you'll just be able to spam your signature spells.
There you go, Illusionist. Whenever you suffer more than 15% of your life in a single hit, oh, excuse me, the cooldown of your mirror image and teleport abilities are automatically reset.
Wow.
So that might be like in the harder difficulties where you can get hit for a good amount,
Yeah.
but still like be able to use health potions and stuff. That could make teleporting to specific areas very easy.
Yeah.
Fire damage. Armor, something. Blur, decrease melee damage taken by 20%. There you go, Evocation reduces all cooldowns by 20%. So that'll help with reducing that. You gain... So yeah, I would say Evocation and the other one.
Critical mass?
Well, Critical Mass, Evocation, and Illusionist will make it to where, like in a PvP sense, that'd be really powerful, because then your teleport would be on cooldown like almost every 8 seconds. And if you get hit, then it's going to be even more. Not 8, because it's 16. That'd be 50%. It's a 20% cooldown. So it'd be like 12 seconds.
Yeah.
And then if you hit for 15%, and every time you hit with a spell too, you'd be reducing it. So you could reduce it to probably about 8 to 10 seconds.
Yeah. So it's definitely not something that you're going to be able to fly through dungeons with, just by the nature. But you can definitely increase it and use it as a utility thing for fights.
Yeah. Oh, I bet you it's up there. That's where I must have missed it. I was looking for the hallway that I had to go into and I couldn't find it.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Okay, so, I gotta wait until he's gone because he's just gonna kill everyone.
Yeah, well, you can see the corpses fly around though still.
So yeah, it does pick up we'll move bones.
Yeah. I love the physics engine in this. It's definitely a game that doesn't need to run on the highest end graphics card. I mean, it's not Skyrim, but it's got enough little things going on that may really make it, more realistic and more graphically intuitive.
Yeah. See, I'd have to say that I think the easiest way to make the wizard not as broken would be to reduce the speed of arcane power regeneration. Make it more close to the Witch Doctor's mana. Yeah. Because, he can actually run out of stuff. Like, right now, he doesn't really run out of a whole bunch of stuff, but I don't even see later on in the game where I'm ever going to be like, oh no, I don't have enough arcane power, unless the mana cost for spells increase as you level.
That may be true.
That would be the only way I could see it being more balanced. Or, like, if a lot of the endgame spells and stuff are, like, really, really strong and require lots of arcane power.
Yeah.
But even then, stuff like this, you know, why do that when you could just disintegrate for maybe a little less power but more consistent damage for something?
Yeah. You may also find a increased mana cost just by going up a difficulty level,
Yeah, that's true too. They could do that. That would definitely be a
or a decreased regeneration from going up a difficulty level.
yeah. It is a little strange that they gave Energy Twister to the wizard, though. Especially since it was, you know, like, Tornado was a druid skill before, so.
Well, they don't really have a druid-type class in this one.
True, well, I don't know. I think the Witch Doctor could be like a Necromancer / druid.
Yeah,
You know.
that's true. But I think they're including some of the druid's abilities in the wizard as well. Because, I mean, not all of the druid's abilities could be in the Witch Doctor.
I don't
the Witch
have
Doctor
enough
definitely
arcane
has a necromancer feel to it, too.
Yeah.
Need more arcane power.
But it'll be interesting to see what the expansions bring and what kind of characters they'll release for them, too.
Yeah.
Because I would like to see a powerful summoning class. Witch Doctor seems to be somewhat summoning, but it's not entirely, like, it's not as heavy duty as the Necromancer was, where you can...
Yeah.
Then again, that may crash some games, so...
Yeah, right. We don't want the old problem of no one ever wanted to run with a summoning necro because he would just destroy the server. Go to a battle run, all of a sudden you all lag out because you can't do anything.
There's 40 things on this one. Especially if they're mapped out.
Oh, nice. You can shoot the arcane thing up walls sometimes.
I need.
I was down
arcane
here
power.
and I just shot it up this thing.
Yeah, all
Need
the
more
spells
arcane
seem
power.
to be able to move up and down levels. Now, they don't do it perfectly, but I have definitely shot downstairs before. I've definitely used my skills on multiple levels, so they definitely have the ability to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, the pathing's definitely like a little off, but it's not off to where it's like game breaking.
Yeah.
We did actually earlier find our first glitch in the game though. When we were playing the Witch Doctor, we were level 12, we leveled up, and it made us level up to level 12.
Yeah, strange. Don't know what happened there.
So then we had to sit there and do level 12 all over again.
But we did have level 12's abilities already in our
Yeah,
slot.
it even said level 12, and it's like, you have leveled, and I'm like, oh, awesome. I'm like, to level 12, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, I definitely enjoy playing the wizard. It's a lot of fun. A lot of bright lights. A lot of explosions.
Yeah. We look at me, I'm broken.
I need arcane power.
Yeah, now that we know like all the details for the characters early game, it'll be really interesting to see how they pan out late game. Especially the Demon Hunter, which apparently just seems so weak
Yeah.
compared to the other classes.
Yeah, they're probably the most gear dependent. Because watch, they're probably like really strong later on.
You'll have to take a look at some of their later abilities. See if we can gauge them.
Yeah. But yeah, like we had said in our Demon Hunter video, we thought that they needed to reassess the levels that you get certain skills, because a lot of skills that were all like survivability just don't matter in the low levels. You won't use them ever. You know, and like in the higher levels, they could be really important. And maybe that's kind of why they wanted to give them to you first, was because they didn't want you to get to a point in the game where you couldn't progress at all because you didn't have a certain skill until like a certain level. So they figure they'll give you the skills that'll help you survive later on in the game before you get to the point where you'll actually need them.
Yeah. Which is wise, but they could wait a couple more levels.
Yeah.
I feel. Maybe switch something out.
Yeah, like in the 20s or something maybe. When you're just about, well, we don't know what the level progression is going to be, but if we're going off of like off of what Diablo 2 was, then you don't even complete normal until around 30 to 40. So there's plenty of levels now, but at the same time, levels here are we don't have 99 levels.
Yeah.
So I think leveling is going to be
Can't
fast in the
carry
beginning
more.
and then kind of scale to be a lot slower later
I
on.
can't pick up
Yeah,
anything
definitely.
else.
Because I can't remember, but I believe we only have like 60 levels.
Yeah, it was something like that. I do know that as far as where they plan you being around Nightmare is probably around mid 20s. That's the kind of gear the blacksmith can make, and currently I've maxed him out, and the next thing he needs to get to level 5 of his progression is something that can only be found in Nightmare.
Okay.
So, and the gear level of his items are around like mid to upper 20s.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple 30s and 40s, but I would say you will probably be within Nightmare for like at the highest 30.
I don't know though, because like you're already 13 and you're trying to think about like how they said this wasn't even all of Act 1.
Yeah, that's true.
And if this isn't all of Act 1, you could easily be 20 something before you're done with the act. Unless this is like way more of Act 1 than they're letting on, because as far as all the news things seemed, it wasn't really that much of the game.
Yeah, and if Act 1 is really this short, I'd be fairly disappointed.
Yeah, then the whole game's going to be really short.
I believe I was told like it's approximately 1/3 of Act 1.
Yeah, something like that.
But also, by the time you get to Leoric, you're around level 8 or level 9. So we've only gotten level 13 by doing this over and over again. So you'll probably finish Act 1 by about 15 or so.
Yeah, that is true. I didn't think about that. Like,
Can't carry
just
more.
because the thing lets you get to 13
I can't
before
carry
the max level is done.
Mm.
You don't really need 13.
No. I've beaten Leoric at level 8. I know most of my characters, so. And there's a noticeable increase in what it takes to level up, so. Yeah, I would say 15 by the end of Act 1.
I don't have enough arcane power.
Oh no. So much stuff running at me.
You sound worried.
No, not at all. Like, I know all the other classes.
My
they,
bags are full.
they don't have a hard time when they're level 13 killing this stuff either.
No.
Like, we were doing this when we were like level 9.
Yeah.
When other people were just starting to get powerful, we were already broken.
Yeah, as soon as you got a decent weapon and you had that arcane orb, you just plowed through things.
Yeah.
It got to the point where you're one-shot with that arcane orb. So I definitely think it needs a slight damage decrease, but it's a lot of fun.
I'm carrying too much.
Yeah, it's definitely fun.
I wonder if later you get something that enables it to shoot things around, like the ice orb.
Yeah.
D2.
Yeah, that's possible. That'd be even more
I
rough.
can't pick up anything else.
Look at this, Magnus already trying to break the wizard even more.
Hey, I always like magic users, so I do what I can.
So yeah, that's the wizard. That's our overview for that. Some other things that we were going to discuss were that on December 10th, the Video Game Awards, Blizzard is going to be getting, Activision Blizzard, however you want to say it, is going to be getting an award there for like some of the CEOs for like some of the best games or whatever. And there's also going to be a Diablo 3 full cinematic that they're releasing on that day, so make sure to check that out, or like check it out on YouTube or whatever. As soon as we get a copy of the cinematic, we'll make sure to throw that up on our YouTube channel, so you can check it out there at youtube.com/D3PowerUnderwhelming. We might even throw the cinematic up on our stream, but I don't know. Like maybe we'll make a show about just talking about the stuff that happened at the awards and go over the awards and the people that got them or something. Other than that, that is all we're going to do for now. Our next show will probably be mostly us trying to finish leveling characters, I think, right?
Yeah. Yep.
To get that the final achievement that we have to get to have everyone at level 13.
Any patch updates, we'll definitely make an episode for.
Yeah, and then soon we're going to be getting a lot of people together to talk about the Power Underwhelming show that we're going to be doing exclusively on YouTube. We will be throwing updates and information on our stream about it, but we'll also be doing that on YouTube too. So make sure just to check us out. If you're watching this on YouTube, go to twitch.tv/PowerUnderwhelming. And if you're watching it on Justin TV or Twitch TV, then youtube.com/D3PowerUnderwhelming. Make sure to also check me out on Twitter at Rosurial. And
you can check me out at Magnus751. We also have a Facebook fan page for Power Underwhelming. You can look that up and feel free to add us. We'll be adding more information as it comes and putting what we do on there as well. We also want to work on a schedule that'll give you guys a little more planning when you want to watch us. We're not sure what we want to do yet, but as soon as the game comes out, we should have a set schedule so that you guys know when to tune in and we're not just doing this at any random hour in the day.
so thank you for listening. This is Rosurial.
And this is Magnus.
Have a good one, guys.